Hi creative friends, this is Rhea and thank you so much for being here. So I allowed this to completely dry and I am going to bring it up closer just so you can look at the delicious stuff that's going on. Now I just want to say that, looking at this spread, it does not look pretty. It doesn't look enticing. It doesn't look any of those things, but that's okay. It is okay. Once you let go of this preconceived notion of how things should look, then I promise you, this is the path to creating work that is juicy and spontaneous and free and just lush. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to I'm going to look at a few things through my viewfinder and just find out parts of the spread that I am really drawn to, that make me curious, that, excite me. That's, where I say, oh, you know what? I really love, whatever it is that's going on. So right off the bat, because our inner critic wants to come out generally, what I learned a long time ago is I don't fight that inner critic. I actually engage my inner critic. So when my inner critic says, this is ugly, I counter it with, yes, it is ugly. And it is, because it's ugly, it's also interesting to me. It has, a sense of being unique. It has a sense of being interesting. It has a sense of being open to possibilities. So when my inner critic says, well, that doesn't even look like a face, like what, this looks like a bunch of junk. And I say, well, it's not a face, it's a monster. And, she is fine being the way she is right now. This is who she wants to be in this moment. So, I know that might sound a bit trite and it might sound a bit kind of silly, but honestly, when we engage our inner critic, I think these are things I've picked up along the way from different sources, from Connie Solera, from Elizabeth Gilbert, this, that, and the other. But when we pretend that the inner critic isn't there, we are creating as performance. We're creating to get the, oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, I love your painting. We're wanting the applause. We're wanting the compliments. But when we are creating from a space of, you know what? Yeah, I have an inner critic. And as Elizabeth Gilbert says, I'm going to invite my inner critic to drive in the car with me, but I'm not going to give it control of the car. But it can sit in the front seat. I can have a conversation with my inner critic. So when we do that, we are much more likely to create work that is authentically our own. So, I'm sorry for this big long song and dance, you guys, but I think this is important to kind of address these issues that we all face as creatives and, try to kind find ways to deal with these things like the inner critic. So right off the bat, I can tell you that I am really loving this bubble wrap situation. And I love this handmade paper here. I love the, just the recognition of the nose and the mouth. For some reason, I'm just really drawn to this area. I don't know why, but it's just really pulling me in, whether it's the color combination, I don't know what it is. And I'm also loving like this little bit of dictionary page over here, that some of it has red and some of it has just the, white of the dictionary page. Now, so right off the bat, I can tell that the eyes are too, if this was going to be the eye sockets, they are placed too far up for where the nose and the mouth is. But that's okay. That is okay. I know this. I am going to work with what's on the page and I will at some point rectify that. So I just wanted to, before I dive into this, I just wanted to show you, I did show you guys this piece over here. It was just, I think, like 3 colors when I showed it to you in my last video, but I've been working on it since. And what I've been doing is I've just been adding lots of layers of inks that I found in my studio a couple of months ago when I was cleaning up. So I'm going to bring this up closer just so you can look at the delicious color fields that are going on. Now, it's only like, I want to say it's like 20%, 25% done, you know, into the process, but already you can see that there are so many parts of this spread that has so much depth and interest and texture, layers, and it's got like this very kind of sculptural feel to it. So I'm really pleased with where this is going. And I also wanted to say that, you know, a lot of times that I do this as well, like because I'm using these inks over here, like someone might think, oh, you know, you've got all these art supplies and, you know, now I have to go and buy these inks in order to do this. And that is absolutely not true at all. So I have been, one of the things that I set for myself is because I do have too many art supplies, and a lot of art supplies actually hinders my creativity. It hinders most people's creativity. And Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes did talk about this on one of her Facebook posts a long time ago. And I find this to be true for most creatives. So I set this intention like, you know what, when I run out of something, I'm not going to instantly go and buy it. So because I ran out of Bristol paper quite a few months ago, I've been just using what I have. And I cleaned out my studio a couple of months ago. I found all this delicious, gorgeous, really high quality watercolor paper, like 300-pound weight. And you know those huge sheets that you buy, like 22 by 30 inches, and I had cut them up. So I didn't even know I had them, but I found that. This is a watercolor pad from my daughter's when she was much younger. So I decided to use it, and I'm incorporating like some of her marks and, you know, splatters and drawings and whatever. And also too, I am down to my last blue Stabilo pencil, and I'm also down to my last little bit, let me see where it is, of my treasured Liquitex burnt sienna ink. Now, I'm probably going to break down at some point and purchase my blue Stabilos and my Liquitex transparent burnt sienna ink, but I am going to also hold that off for a while. I'm gonna just use what I have. I'm a huge, huge, huge proponent of start where you are, use what you have. So don't think that just because I'm using all of these supplies that you have to. Just look around your art studio, go to your house, look around and see what kind of junk you have that you can use for collage, and, you know, just use what you have. So yeah, these inks that I have, they're from many, many, many years ago. I think I was taking a class, and you know, the teacher wanted us to buy these inks, and I completely forgot about them, but they're perfect for what I'm doing now. So anyways, I am going to just start laying down some of my inks over here. And this is a butterscotch color, which is not a color I would normally use, but I'm kind of trying to push my color choices and just kind of see what interesting things can happen. Now, like I said, I do know that I'm gonna have to kind of move the eye sockets, you know, I'm gonna have to move that down, but that's okay. That is okay. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to use this dark area here for the eyelids and, you know, that area. And I think this is probably more appropriate for where the nose and eyes are. I'm sorry, nose and lips are. I think the eyes would go here. Now, this whole paint like a monster thing, you guys, has been so freeing to me because I'm not like really concerned about, oh, well, you know, the eyes should be placed here. And, you know, I'm not like, there's nothing wrong with working in that way at all. I mean, I love doing a good sketch. I do. But working in this way, you just open yourself up to so many different possibilities. And, you know, just things that can happen that I can't really plan. And it does look kind of hodgepodge, and I'm okay with that. And now I want a red. Well, you know, I have this is a mahogany. I'm gonna see what kind of, ooh, that's really pretty actually. And I'm just kind of working really fast here. I'm trying not to think about like the way it looks. I'm kind of going more for like, how does it feel, you know? And I know that might seem a bit odd, but I'm really enjoying working this way. And I hope you guys that this has given you permission to just let loose and not focus so much on how something appears, but like to go for that feeling. And I'm not saying like don't learn, you know, color theory or, you know, drawing portraits or whatever it is. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like invite other energies and ways of working as well. And I think I'm just going to kind of block that in. And then I'm gonna let this completely dry here. And because I moved the eyes down, I'm gonna have to move the hairline down as well. And I know this looks very chaotic, but it's okay. We're gonna embrace the chaos. So if you've watched all the way to the end, you guys, thank you so much. And I hope you guys are finding this way of working inspiring, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.